from my journey of the first doctor I ever spoke to up until the last doctor I will ever speak to, because I've decided to never see doctors ever again about fibromyalgia, they've all got this one same idea, and that is slap you on painkillers, and that is it. So my relationship with fibromyalgia first of all started 11 years ago with pains in the soles of my feet when I was standing, and it worked its way up all throughout my body, specifically my knees, more predominantly my left knee. Now this took the top spot for the central hub of pain, discomfort, fatigue, and energy in my body. This was the motherboard, this was the crux of it all right here. This gave me all my problems. Now it's been a very uncomfortable journey, filled with pain, depression, so many questions, and really no answers at all. So every single doctor that I ever saw, the first thing they would try and do is put me on medication. And this is like a bandage that they just slap on any pain-related symptom or illness or disease, whatever. They just slap it on and try and brush it off as if it's not some life-changing thing that we're going through. Now, I am not one of these doctors. I lived with this for over 10 years, dealing with and managing pain and searching for answers on my own. So today I want to talk about what fibromyalgia actually is for those of us who suffer, and what I've learned not only about myself, but about the disease itself. Now, first of all, it's not a disease. It's actually a syndrome. So this just means it's a group of symptoms that consistently occur together. And the beauty of fibro is that it's completely different in everyone. The symptoms are usually pain, discomfort, and fatigue. And the most amazing common denominator between it all is that it's widespread across the entire body. This means that everyone who suffers doesn't just have like one spot that hurts, it's everywhere. Like for me, right, my left knee had all of the symptoms, all in this area, but that was just the main point. In second place, in a close joint second place, was my right knee, my lower back, my left groin, my ankle, and a weird spot in the back of my shoulder, and also my chest here. This was like tenderness and, fatigue and just like sharp stabbing pains pretty much everywhere else. On any normal day, I'd have between 5 and 8 spots on my body that were in constant pain. Like at any given moment, there would be at least 5 places on my body which were like concerningly painful and uncomfortable. Now, even better than the areas in the body that you experience pain in being hugely varied, the type of pain is just as abundant, which makes it all very fun. In my legs, below the thigh here, just felt completely dead, like there was no circulation, like someone had just tied something super tight around here. But also it felt like I just ran an ultra marathon and my legs were just so fatigued, so dead. On top of that, I would have sharp stabbing pains dotted all around my knee, on my groin, on my other knee, on my shoulder, on my hips, on my chest. This is like sore to touch, sharp stabbing pains in my side. Abundance. And this is what I knew fibro as, right? Not something that I'm gonna have to live with and something that I'm gonna have to be on medication for the rest of my life, but an aura, a blanket of pain, just this lens of misery. And that I could not accept that to be something that I would have to deal with and live with for the rest of my life. So what actually is fibromyalgia? Well, from all of the data and my own experience, because widespread pain is the main symptom, it appears that the central nervous system and the pain signaling systems in your body is what's affected. Even without seeming cause, a body part can be inflamed or seemingly in pain. I had a very weird symptom that I could think about a body part or even hear someone else talk about their body part hurting, it would start to hurt for me. And that just tells me that the signaling is all messed up. Research has shown that the part of the brain that processes pain shows abnormalities in people who suffer with fibro. It essentially just boosts the intensity of the signals, which results in pain with no cause. I've always been functionally fully able, just in pain and fatigued. And this phenomena, along with all the other wonderful experiences I've had with this amazing relationship, leads me to the conclusion that it's all in my head. It's all in the mind. When you speak with doctors about your symptoms, or you read any of the mainstream information about fibromyalgia, it's all pain, it's all fatigue, it's all negativity. And when you have this inside your head, this is all you can think about because you are in pain. And this is something that you've been labeled with. And so this is what manifests into your reality. So when you listen to what the doctors say, or you do any amount of research, the cause is unknown. There's no test to diagnose it. The symptoms have huge variety in everyone. There's no known cure. And the only way to get diagnosed with it is to simply rule out everything else. Now that does not sound definitive. And it gave me absolutely zero confidence in any of it. So then when they just try and put you on all these painkillers with all these crazy names, it just raises so many red flags, and I'm very grateful that I never accepted to be put on painkillers. When you suffer so badly for so long, it's like this thick lens that alters your reality. It can be so hard to even have the motivation to get out of bed in the morning, let alone plan your day, let alone plan next week, let alone set goals for your life. And this brings me to today. I have overcome chronic pain. I no longer suffer, despite there being no cure. And you know what it was? Understanding that it's all BS. All of it. It's hard to hear. And believe me, I had to dig so deep and question everything that I knew. Everything in my reality had to be questioned. You know, when I talked about my condition, some people would say to me, "Are you sure that it's just not in your head?" And I couldn't accept it. I couldn't believe it. I was absolutely convinced that there was no way that what I was experiencing could just be made up, because I was just in pain and fatigued 24/7. There was no escape. Everything that I knew was pain. That was it. After many internal battles and really taking a step back and looking at the reality that I was living in, I accepted and came to terms that yes, it was all in my mind. Fibromyalgia is just a label. It's just an excuse. And this concept of labeling was really my downfall. I labeled myself as someone who suffered with chronic pain, and therefore I was someone who suffered with chronic pain. My eating habits were abysmal. They were abusive to myself. I wasn't exercising. I wasn't stretching. I wasn't going outside. I was smoking cigarettes, smoking weed, drinking. And yes, all of these things are bad, and I've improved so much in all of these areas over my journey. The real sword that helped me to defeat fibromyalgia was, despite, yes, still being in pain, 10 years of chronic pain and suffering does not go overnight. Telling myself that I'm cured, that I'm happy, that I'm healthy, that I'm strong, that I'm healing, that I'm growing. And most importantly, truly believing it. The job of doctors is to put you on and keep you on medication for the rest of your life. And the first real person who actually helped me was a chiropractor. And he didn't even do any adjustments on me. Instead, he did energy therapy with me, shifting my mindset from someone who was in pain, suffering, and depressed to someone who was healing and happy. This is how I overcame chronic pain and fibromyalgia. It's a very hard truth to have to face, but the truth is, I was the reason for my suffering. And listening to doctors and mainstream information about what I was going through was the catalyst for my downfall. You know, I can see why doctors hate alternative practitioners, because they cost them a lifetime's worth of sales of painkillers, plus God knows what else, plus surgeries, plus all these other heinous, unnatural procedures that would have occurred. You got to take a step back and analyze your life and accept the fact that you can and you will heal. I hope this wasn't too painful to listen to or watch. You know, I've gone down to the absolute depths with this, and I've built myself back up. You know, I wish I would have known this sooner, but all things in life happen for a reason. And I've learned a lot of lessons about myself. So I hope this helps you cut the suffering out of your life, because from experience, 10 years of suffering is 10 years way too many. I'm documenting my journey of overcoming chronic pain on my channel. I vlog every single day, back from when I started taking my health seriously. and documenting everything I'm doing to restore my health. So check it out if you want. I'm no doctor, I'm no expert. I'm just someone who suffered for a very long time. Now I'm reclaiming my life back, healing, growing, and showing you that it is truly possible to come back from the absolute bottom. Because I'm feeling better than I've ever felt in my entire life, with no medication and no advice from doctors. So I hope this helped open your eyes, and best of luck on your journey.